Now it is the turn of Japan and Vietnam. The Samurai Blue on a run of 10 consecutive victories, during which time they have scored a quite remarkable 45 goals. And in terms of the head-to-head meetings, they have never lost against Vietnam in their 5 previous meetings, including, you might remember 4 years ago, narrow 1-0 win in the quarterfinals, thanks to a late Ritsu Doan penalty, which broke Vietnamese hearts. So Japan kick us off in the blue shirts. They're almost unbackable favourites here today. Could Vietnam possibly spring a surprise?
By Japan, you have to credit the recovery from TゥMan.
Here's Japan's first corner and a test for Philip Nguyen, and he flapped at the ball. Out he comes for Sugawara, who drives it. There's the opening goal for Japan. It hasn't taken too long, and it arrives courtesy of Takumi Minamino after 11 minutes. Vietnam unable to defend the set piece. And after Sugawara's effort was deflected, Minamino stroked the ball home.
Well, the concession of the corner came because Vietnam got picked apart, and then
both those early tournaments when they were South Vietnam, of course the country was divided in those days. Chance here perhaps, and they're going to get a corner thanks to Nguyen Din Bac's perseverance, which Do Hun Dun, their captain, will take. Fires it in low, and it's looped in! An incredible goal, an equaliser for Vietnam, scored by Nguyen Din Bac, and Vietnam are back in the game.
Well, it's an incredible moment for Vietnam. Put back on their heels because they couldn't defend from their own corner, but they composed themselves and worked themselves back upfield, and it's a quite remarkable header in the end from Din Bac.
Did well there, Vietnam, to get out of a bit of a hole, but not completely away. Set through Morita, Minamino on the turn. Just flashing wide of that left-hand upright of Philip Nguyen.
Made that space so exquisitely, Minamino. Just letting them.
Junya Ito on the right. Nice little flick by Minamino, but
mind you, so is Vietnam at the moment.
And there's a race on for the ball, which Zion Suzuki. Taniguchi looking for that little run in behind from Junya Ito, and he did make it. Was there a little nudge there on Pham Thun Hai? There might have been, but Nguyen Din Bac then tried to break the defensive line and was brought down by Sugawara, who gets the game's first caution. A red, and on we go with the Vietnam free kick. Swung out towards that back post, and Suzuki couldn't hang on to it, and it's 2-1, would you believe, to Vietnam. Pham Thun Hai with the second goal for the Golden Star Warriors, and is Philippe Troussier conjuring up a shock against the nation that still loves him.
Well, whilst Japan are cutting a swathe through their international football matches of recent.
However, the Blue Samurai stung into a response perhaps. They got numbers here. Junya Ito on the turn. And Japan have got an opportunity here. Junya Ito, big chance. And Mao Hosoya. Signs of life from the Asian Cup favourites. Endo, nice little angle ball. And just passed into the back of the net for 2-2 by Takumi Minamino. A very cool, calm and composed finish. His second of the game. And we're back all square.
Well, as the second half draws to a close, as the first half draws to a close, an excellent first.
Shuffle gets rid of one defender, Sugawara with the cutback, good save, win, and Minamino was sensing a hat-trick. But Vietnam again.
Hat-trick, and here he goes again.
Keito Nakamura. Nakamura! Oh, that's a glorious goal! One right in the top corner and right out of the top drawer in terms of quality. And Japan have turned it around. They were 2-1 down and facing perhaps the first major shock of this Asian Cup. But that is the measure of their quality. And thanks to Nakamura, they lead 3-2.
Well, Minamino leading the charge with the ball at his feet.
7 matches have produced 5 in the 90 minutes. Today we've had 5 in 45. What a first half of football. Spread wide by Morita. Junior Ito to deliver the centre, but Philip Nguyen to pluck it out of the air.
He's had a lot of possession.
Vietnam will make a double change of their own. But meantime, his Junior Ito switched over to the left-hand side. And here's Morita. And it's helped over the top by Pham Tan Thai. It was certainly heading goalwards. Corner to defend. Angle to the top of the box. In by Hiroki Ito. And poured away by Philip Nguyen. Just on truce here, by the way. He's the only coach at this Asian Cup who's actually won it before. Here's a chance for the fourth. And potentially a hat-trick for Minamino. But Philip Nguyen equal to that one. It's up very deep. With the legs by Hiroki Ito and threaded through. Here's a big chance. Ueda was offside.
Really sharp work on the near post from Philip Nguyen. Working from the turnover quickly as the ball is played. Ueda's offside, but
brought forward by Sano. Endo. Vietnam stayed down. That could be a problem for Vietnam. Big chance here. Ueda! That'll do it. Took a deflection, a heavy one at that. But Ayase Ueda has perhaps finished off Vietnamese resistance and made it 4-2.
well, it was a bruising finish. It was a bruising challenge in the centre of the field to make the extra number to allow Ueda to draw it quickly.
Sano. Here's Kubo. Not quite. And there we go. 11 straight wins for the Samurai Blue as they take the first step towards a 5th Asian crown. 2 goals for Takumi Minamino. And